North Star Radio, also known as Comrade Casey, recently put out a video titled Ethan Klein's Crashout Explained. And I haven't got a chance to watch it because it came out right before I went live. I was about to go live and then it showed up in my YouTube recommended and it said it was posted 30 minutes ago. So let's watch it. Let's go. Crash out of the year. Yeah, we need to have like a crash out of the year award.
Last week on NSR's coverage of the continuing and ever hilarious crash out of Ethan Klein. The CEO of Titty Fresh was justifying apartheid.
When I grew up, I couldn't really take a bus. I was afraid of blowing up.
Right.
And now it doesn't really happen. So the wall did help. So should we not have a wall?
And her husband was being racist.
There, frankly, are a lot of Palestinians, right, in the area. And once the Palestinians outnumber the Jews, anything is fair game for the Jews.
Not the great replacement theory showing up on screen. Not that. Oh, no.
Anything.
His moldy basement began to affect his cognitive state.
He's a liar, dude. He's a weaselly little liar.
Ethan reacted to clips of part 1, but didn't actually address my points against him. Quite literally doing the thing he accused Hasan Piker of doing.
Hasan can't watch a single point I made. He just needs to call me crazy and say I'm hallucinating. Zero accountability. That's so cowardly, man. At least watch it.
Instead, opting to provide vulgar sexualized insults.
And over time, he played victim. Let me DM Love my picture of my cock. Love, I sent you a picture of my cock. Can you send one back?
And he somehow thought he owned me with facts and logic.
Do you not know that they're not Arabs, bro? That's so fucking cringe, bro. You literally made a video saying I'm Islamophobic and you're just calling anybody of color Arab? This is like commie racism, bro.
Yes, Somalia and Kazakhstan are not Arab countries, but I never claimed they were. A more appropriate title for that section of the video would have been anti-Islam propaganda. Yet the stereotypes against Arab people in the United States are nearly identical to the stereotypes against Muslim people, making Ethan's critique of that section absolutely idiotic. And yeah, Borat's not an Arab caricature. He's a Muslim caricature, but his character in The Dictator is. And I showed that right here. But before part 2 begins, I'd like to take this time to apologize to some of the great socialist leaders, like Stalin, Lenin, Osama bin Laden. I'm sorry for ruining socialism.
Thanks a lot,
Honestly,
buddy.
Yeah, basically, you're right.
An asshole.
It is people like him that has ruined socialism for everybody. I'm more of a Bin Laden socialist.
This is part 2 of Ethan's ongoing crash out explained. Today's broadcast is brought to you by viewers like you. Become a member today and unlock exclusive content at patreon.com/NorthstarRadio. On October 15th, Ethan Klein discovered a nearly year-old interview between Hasan Piker and a famous Yemeni TikToker known as Tim Houthi Chalamet.
It made me think of this tweet from our wonderful Houthi pirate, the cute Houthi pirate that Hasan interviewed. And I remembered this tweet he put out, just a cute tweet from our favorite Houthi. Same people telling me to kill myself love this guy. And that's true. They do. They love him. Hasan interviewed him. He hypes him up even as recent as like this week, okay? This is a tweet he put out. The execution that we will carry out on all Zionists. People go, Hasan talked to him and he said he's not a Houthi and he says he doesn't hate Jews. Why is it you understand how this works with every other minority group? Like, do you really think that if I asked this guy, like, tell me what do you think a Zionist is, that he would have some nuanced answer about the difference? I mean, as you'll see, this kid is a rampant anti-Semite and a violent Houthi terrorist. Here he is with the AK and combat fatigues. Now, in poverty-stricken Yemen, do you think it...
And you know that Ethan Klein's definition of anti-Semite is definitely accurate because I'm an anti-Semite in his book for Czech's notes not liking Sabra hummus. So we can trust this guy on who is and who is not an anti-Semite.
It's likely to get an AK or an automatic assault rifle in Yemen, poverty-stricken, if you're not affiliated with the Houthis. I mean, Houthis, guns are expensive as Dude, and I just continue, dude, there's so much evidence this dude is Jew-hating terrorist. Just say you support the Houthis, stand on your shit. Again, I respect that. Just say you support the Houthis, which Hasan does. Here he is with a rifle, and again, okay, maybe he found that. I don't know how you get a high-powered rifle in Yemen without being affiliated with the Houthis. Hasan did not ask him one critical question. In fact,
Just like totally showing that you know nothing about Yemen. Just nothing about Yemen. That a country that has been dealing with war for decades. How can you believe that there are easily accessible guns? Also, high-powered rifle. Brother, it's an AK. It's literally an AK.
the opposite. It was a complete puff piece where he sucked him off, elevated him, was uncritical, and even in the moments of absolutely insane statements like this, he essentially covers for him and acts like ignorant.
Chinese people, but one of the captain was Chinese, and he did caught with them, and he danced the music with them, and he was vibing.
And also, as many people have pointed out, Arab with a gun equals terrorist. Correct. I mean, that's what people like Ethan Klein think. They see Arab person with gun must be terrorist. Granddaddy Marty, thank you for the 8 months. Shy Thembo, thank you for the tier 1. Lufius, thank you for the 2 months.
So he likes him, yeah.
So I mean, what?
Yes, he just admitted to being a terrorist who's hanging out with hostages. That's literally just what happened. And Hasan knows it.
I don't think I need to explain the obvious issue with assuming this kid is a terrorist just for owning a gun in Yemen, a country second in gun ownership behind the United States, and has been victim to a genocide for the past decade. But because he's Arab and anti-Israel, I guess he's automatically an anti-Semitic terrorist. Oh, but Ela, definitely not a terrorist. When she was the secretary at an Israeli base in the occupied West Bank and even participated in a raid where young boys were taken prisoner for no reason whatsoever, that's simply not terrorism.
My officers and like the soldiers in that brigade, they would go every night on a raid in Ramallah to arrest terrorists. And so I always saw them preparing for it and leaving, and then I would stay in the base. So one time I wanted to go with them just to experience it.
Why, you just were all of a sudden had an urge to go with them?
I just wanted to see what it's like.
Right.
I wanted to see it.
Okay.
So they took me with them one night, even though they weren't supposed to.
Did they armor your ass up?
You're driving in this like Jeep that's bulletproof.
Right.
So I was in the Jeep, and then as soon as we entered Ramallah, the people in the city started shooting us.
Wow.
And I heard like a bullet hit the Jeep like right next to my head.
Did they arrest anyone that night?
They did.
Did they bring it in the same car with you?
No.
Oh,
You
different
go.
car.
There's a few cars going.
Damn, that's crazy.
It
Was it like? How did you feel? Was it horrifying?
It was strange. You see people in their house, and then it's like the soldiers just walk into the house and look through their shit and find guns, and the whole thing is really surreal.
And the following day, on October 16th, Ethan decided to dedicate an entire H3 podcast episode to criticizing Hasan and accusing him of fostering anti-Semitism in his community. Fortunately, Hasan had a few hilarious distractions on stream that day.
Dude, did you want me? There was a big fruit basket from Hamas outside. Did you want me to bring it in? They were really happy for all you. They were like, thank you for all your hard work.
Dude, don't fucking out me, dude.
But this was only the beginning of Ethan's public Islam.
never ask a woman her age, never ask a man his salary, and never invite your Greek friend onto a live stream because they will make Hamas jokes. Okay.
Islamophobic tirades. And on October 19th, Ethan Klein posted on his personal channel a video calling out a group of pro-Palestine Twitch streamers who included him in a Habibi tier list, placing him on a tier titled after a shitty brand of hummus. A quite silly, goofy, completely tame TwitchCon panel was seen by #1 victim Ethan Klein as anti-Semitic, and boy did he make his feelings heard.
Hello, everybody. It's Ethan Klein from my basement. Beautiful Friday evening. My kids just went to sleep.
I like how it's literally the SpongeBob meme right now. Like, look, I made it. Oh, I guess I can't really find it easily. What the hell? All right, you guys get the idea, though.
And boy did he make his feelings heard.
Hello, everybody. It's Ethan Klein from my basement. Beautiful Friday evening. My kids just went to sleep, and I opened Reddit to browse my community, who I love so well. And at the top of the subreddit is this very lovely clip entitled, "Just a casual panel provided by Twitch at their con, broadcasted on their official channel." What is it? Well, it's a panel hosted by Frogan and four of her friends, in which they have a tier list where they rate people where good is Arab and bottom is loves Sabra. Sabra is a very popular hummus brand. I know in Israel, it's pretty much in everybody's refrigerator, and it's kosher. They're an American company, but they've been the subject of the pro-Palestine boycott. I mean, it's kind of just Arab good, Jew bad. I mean, I'm having a hard time seeing this any other way, and what's crazy is that I've been suspecting that Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem. It started with Hasan platforming Houthi terrorists and showing unfettered terrorist propaganda on his channel. Now, taking this all in account, here's an officially sanctioned event at TwitchCon. Let's take a look at it and see what exactly is Twitch endorsing here.
Okay. It's the perfect transition to our first person, Hasan.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder where they're gonna put Hasan. I'm gonna guess they're gonna put him in Arab.
Hasan is Turkish, but he's a brother.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I think he'd be on Arab coded.
I mean, I would put him in Arab to be honest.
I would put him also in Arab.
Which is great. That's the good one. That's the one you want.
Austin, let's go down the line.
He's Arab.
Arab.
He's Arab.
Arab.
He's Arab.
Lebanese. Like,
Yeah.
Good job. Good job, Austin.
The next person is one of my favorite people, Ethan Klein.
I told you guys to clap.
This is a good reaction.
That was a good one.
That's Jewish.
Dude, where's the? You guys are missing a category for Zionist. That was a joke. That was just a joke in my.
Denims.
We're very proud of you, Denims, for bringing anti-Semitism right on stage, and you guys are killing it.
He even talked about it 2 days after the fact on the H3 podcast, dedicating another 30 minutes to calling out the entire panel and another tight 15 emphasizing his hatred for Frogan.
Beep, boop, beep, beep. That was fun. Okay. So now let's talk about Friday night. On the topic of Twitch being a haven for anti-Semitism, this clip started circulating Friday night. And I frankly was outraged by it. Watch this. Tell me if you think this is cool. Frogan, for some reason, has a 45-minute panel at TwitchCon. I mean, she averages, I think our highlights fucking channel has a higher average viewer count than she does. They're doing a tier list where Arab is at the top. Arab coded, asks permission, thinks it's a slur, and then this one says, eats Sabra, which is an Israeli hummus brand. So essentially you have Arabs at the top, an Israeli hummus brand that is essentially, I'll get into why for all the reasons, but just imagine on Twitch TV in this year of 2024, making a tier list based on race. And nobody has a fucking problem with that. People make all kinds of excuses to say, oh, it was about this or it was about that, and it doesn't matter, and you're blowing it out of proportion. Okay, you have a tier list based on race. Where's the Jewish panel? Where's the Jewish panel? And here's Hasan basically running defense.
This criticism is so insane. I've never seen this clip. Because no one asked for one? Says, you know how TwitchCon panels work? You petition Twitch for a panel. What do you want? Do you want a bunch of Arab people to petition for a Jewish panel? That feels weird. That feels very. This freeze frame is crazy, by the way. That feels very weird. This is a very bizarre thing to do. That would be really bizarre. It also wasn't a panel for Arabs. It was. I mean, there's someone on the stage, VO, who was not Arab. It was a panel for a podcast that has Arab people in it, and we were jokingly asking who could say the Habibi word. Huh?
For obvious, unmitigated, disgusting bigotry.
Yeah, Sabra hummus.
Yeah, and literally one of the 3 Arabs is Jewish. I mean, the guy who says Denims. Raffle's literally Jewish.
I think this hand is anti-Semitic.
He's like looking at, oh my God. It's funny as shit. Lufius, thank you for the 2 months. Thank you. I don't know if I said thank you or not already, but thank you.
Yeah.
Which is literally the shittiest hummus you can get and has been on BDS lists regardless for...
That's what I'm saying. He immediately associates it with Israel. They are admitting it right there. It's been on the divestment list for many, many years. Immediately associates it with Israel. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's trash hummus. It implies that you're white, as in you don't eat good hummus.
Again, this is Hasan's MO. He won't actually watch it. He will draw an immediate conclusion that supports his dogmatic theory on the world and then move on while poisoning the well in his fan base.
Anyway, this guy made this video. I haven't watched the whole thing. It's long as fucking. I generally don't like watching videos like this because it's usually depressing. And it seems to have like a neutral title, but I think everybody noticed as they were watching through it, even Hasan, I think, commented on it, that this video is a little weird. I haven't watched the whole thing. It's long as
Frogan gets in trouble for saying one of the most heinous, ridiculous things I've ever seen. And immediately, her and her cohorts start blaming me for it, saying, oh, it's my fault. Look what you did. Look at this shit. So she went in the midst of all this stuff, and she's trying to be an edgy leftist. She learned it from daddy. And here it is.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. The U.S. military.
Choosing to call Hasan daddy is a crazy choice by Ethan Klein.
Boo fucking who? I hope you get
weird.
PTSD.
Genuinely, I'm not like a simp for the army by any means. I recoiled when I heard that. I was like, oh my God, that's fucking crazy to say.
I'm not like a military simp. I don't get the whole thank you for your service thing. This isn't like World War II. You weren't drafted. You signed up to do a fucking job. You're being paid. You weren't forced into a war with Nazis.
It's like
you're bombing villages from a drone. And
Like,
I mean, God bless you for that.
Oh my God, that's fucking crazy to say.
But in the end, Ethan received the amazing news that he got all of the streamers on this panel banned for 30 days. These streamers, being some of the biggest pro-Palestine voices on the platform, were forced to miss the incredibly important general election that went to Trump. So with minimal evidence, we can conclusively blame Ethan Klein for Trump's victory.
They may be sweeping up everybody from that video, Ethan.
What does that mean?
Denims and the others. Let me confirm.
Denims also should be fucking. At least she should be 2 weeks.
You're like death noting these people right now.
Normal behavior.
Bro, she literally.
I
Chill,
mean,
dude.
she says in the video, Ethan was put there derogatorily.
And then she goes, "Where's the Zionist category?" Like,
I don't understand how you can spend so much time defending Israel, and then when someone says, "Hey, you defend Israel," you get offended. I'm so confused. I don't understand. If you don't want people to say that you spend your time defending Israel, don't do it. Huh?
that's the thing.
I mean,
you
they're
can
saying
use that
it.
word however you want. It's anti-Semitic.
They're literally saying
You
what
can
it is.
say anything you want as long as you call a Jew a Zionist. And that's just anti-Semitic.
All right,
she's doing it.
Here we are. We have Denims.
Bye.
Has been banned.
Bye.
Why can't we talk about the
Zionists. Just say that, and that song's fucking.
Dude, it's really funny how mad I make him. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's I think a big part of it is I have a hard time shutting the fuck up when I feel very strongly about someone else just in general being a shitty person. So someone like Ethan Klein, I think, is a shitty person to his friends. He's a shitty person to his employees. And he's just a shitty person to other people online. And when I see that shit, I have like, I feel like nobody else. I feel like everyone else is too scared to talk about it, and I have to. Because it's like, dude, no. No, I don't think it's fair that you get to just treat everyone around you like garbage and nobody calls you out because everyone's afraid of you. Actually, you should be held accountable for the things that you say. And I think it's, on all my years of being in the internet, I haven't really seen a lot of other people take on this role of just being insufferable about their sense of justice and being like, actually, no, you do these shitty things. People should say that you do these shitty things. And there's very few people who will take up that mantle because it will lead to people harassing you because people want to protect their favorite content creators, so they'll come and bother you about it, right? And I think there's also even less women online that do it. So when someone like Ethan Klein or like a lot of other men I've noticed see me make fun of them, I think it makes them really mad. It's really funny. It's really funny, and they're making me want to double or triple down and do it even more. Because, whew, how can you give such a good entertaining response? Be like, I think she needs to be banned. She needs to be, she called me a Zionist. She needs to be banned. It's like, I need to make fun of you more. Oh my God, you're so easy to make fun of. You're such an asshole to everyone around you. You're just like such a huge asshole and nobody calls you out on it. I get to do it and make you this mad. I need to keep doing it. Oh my God.
Gonna hit on Twitch.
Capri Sun Poppy has been banned.
Who?
Bye, bitch.
Capri Sun Poppy.
Okay.
All these guys running.
Meanwhile, Neon
Thank you for the
unbanned.
5 gift subs.
What is going on?
Can't win them all.
Only a few days before this episode, Asmongold, a very popular streamer, was banned for only 14 days for calling Palestine an inferior culture, defending the ongoing genocide.
I'm not going to cry a f***ing river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a f***. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. They'd be doing the same thing. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing.
Now, a lot of additional events transpired after this Habibi Sabra controversy, including, but not limited to, Ethan Klein going after other people in Hasan's orbit, like the Deprogram podcast for being too radical.
You came across the Deprogram subreddit.
Well, I've seen them a lot of times, but here's something that is important to say about Deprogram. One of the hosts, Second Thought, is the biggest socialist YouTuber, 2 million subs. Deprogram's probably the biggest socialist podcast, and their show's frequented by Hasan, who co-signs them by the biggest socialist streamer. So like people trying to, like I saw comments, obviously some people were angry about this, and they're saying, oh, these are just fringe people. And I just don't know how you can possibly say that. I think the problem, is there's something rotten within this movement, and like, it's not my fault for calling it like I see it. What fuels anti-Semitism? Okay, what is it? Actually, what fuels anti-Semitism is murdering children by the thousands under the banner of the Star of David
while adamantly insisting that your actions are inseparable from all Jews and the totality of Judaism. This is fucking disgusting. Actually, anti-Semitism is the Jews' fault. This is left-wing anti-Semitism. It's disgusting, dude. 2,000 upvotes. Everybody's down with this one. I'm telling you, dude, I'm telling you. These people do not like Jews, while adamantly insisting that you're...
This is insane. This is crazy to me. Missing the point entirely is insane. He has no reading comprehension skills? Yeah. None.
Your actions are inseparable from Jews. That's them doing that. Like, what is she saying?
Israeli government. They're saying the Israeli government represents themselves as being the Jewish state and therefore, like, sanctioned by the religion.
I don't think they say that.
And by biased judges who are motivated by anti-Semitic sentiments against the one and only Jewish state.
Or popular streamer Ludwig for not being hard enough on Hasan.
Today's video is about Ludwig, actually, who made a video called What is Happening to Twitch, in which he explains what is going on with the adpocalypse.
This video makes him look like insane. He Joker-fied him. Oh my God.
Taking place on Twitch right now. In this video, he somehow didn't mention me, Hasan, Israel IP block, or anything. It's like he's so afraid of pissing off the cool kids that they're not going to let him sit at their table anymore. The stakes are a little higher, in my opinion, because by misrepresenting what happened, he doesn't help anyone. I mean, he helps Hasan. That's the only person he does, but he's sweeping this anti-Semitism issue right under the rug to the point where it's like, wow, you really don't care. You really do not care about this at all.
But I do imagine a video in the near future diving deep, point by point, into the past few months of the H3 podcast. But this is not that video. Fast forward about a month to November 13th, and after Ethan spent the entire episode rightfully criticizing the normalization of anti-Semitism in online spaces, he decides to demonstrate the normalization of Islamophobia by unironically playing a game titled Twitch or Terrorist.
Today, my friends, we are going to play the exciting game here. You at home, play along. We're gonna play, is it Twitch or is it a terrorist? Let's take a look here, guys.
I don't know who made this, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the Hasan and Osama on the front page. They need
at least if they're gonna compare them, I mean, I'll guess.
Yeah, that's insane. Here's what Hasan had to say.
It is fucking insane to just like put actual anti-Semites alongside people who are not anti-Semitic but pro-Palestinian in an effort to be like, see, they're all terrorists. Look at all these guys.
Included one post each from Hasan and Frogan, who's another creator Ethan's called out and feuded with in the past. But again, most ended up being from creators Sneeko and Myron, so he ended up closing the game by saying,
"You're right though, that game sucks."
It was just not enough variety. It didn't prove anything because all the anti-Semites was just like Myron and Sneeko.
And so all that happens, but then once the clips...
Damn, I can't believe that they couldn't find anti-Semitic quotes of me. Perhaps because I'm not an anti-Semite.
But again, there was also a fair share of people echoing what Hasan said, with some also noting that this came after Ethan went on his Instagram stories to call out Hasan and accuse him of only pretending to care about anti-Semitism. And Ethan ended up responding to...
Which is crazy, by the way. Like, that was also crazy. Only pretending to care about anti-Semitism is wild. I've stood by this man, side by side, and we've dunked on fucking anti-Semites together. You know what I mean? And anti-Semitism together. Like, what the fuck is going on?
It's quite obvious that Ethan Klein and Islamophobia know each other quite well, and the past couple months have made it crystal clear. But what if I told you Ethan Klein is ironically spreading anti-Semitism as well, while actively accusing pro-Palestinian streamers of doing the same? Ethan Klein has long lacked an understanding of the term Zionism, a far-right political movement to establish a Jewish state where the right to exercise self-determination is unique to Jewish people and Jewish people only.
Imagine for a moment, if you will, the United States in the present day. Imagine a bill reaches the U.S. House of Representatives called America, the nation-state of white people. In its basic principles, it states, "The right to exercise national self-determination in the United States is unique to white people. Further down, a clause for white settlement. The state views the development of white settlement as a national value and will act to encourage and promote its establishment and consolidation. Outraged, a coalition led by the Congressional Black Caucus initiates a challenge to the bill and proposes a bill of their own, where it calls the United States a country for all its citizens. But the Speaker of the House unilaterally disqualifies the bill before it's allowed to even be debated. Why? The House General Counsel explains in a statement, "The bill includes several articles that are meant to alter the character of the United States from the nation-state of white people to a state in which there is equal status from the point of view of nationality for whites and people of color." The bill is dead. America, the nation-state of white people, passes through both chambers of Congress unchallenged. It's then signed into law. U.S. President Joe Biden would invoke the law in a tweet a year later, saying, "America is not a state of all its citizens. According to the nation-state law we passed, America is the nation-state of white people, and not anyone else." As one rights group put it, "There is no democratic constitution in the world that designates the constitutional identity of the state on racial grounds as serving one ethnic group. There is now." This disconcerting scenario is anything but. It's completely real and happened just a few years ago to little coverage and little condemnation.
However, Ethan simplifies the definition to something along the line.
As I've talked about before, Israel as it currently exists is an ethnostate, and ethnostates are bad, period. I don't believe there is such a thing as a good ethnostate. I don't believe that that exists. I think if Israel wanted to be a home for the Jewish people, there are other ways to do that that don't explicitly deny constitutional privileges to other groups of people. One such example would be attempting to fund more Israeli goods or fund more like Israeli businesses. If you have a store that sells, like a restaurant that predominantly sells Israeli food, you maybe can apply for some subsidies. Or if you would like to open some Jewish heritage museum, you would be subsidized by the state because we want to promote and create a safe place for Jewish people where there isn't maybe one somewhere else. That you can provide government funding and sort of encourage more. I mean, I said Jewish food for a reason. Wait, I didn't say Israeli food, I meant Jewish food. Because I said Jewish culture earlier, but anyways. I think that that would be fine. I don't think that that's inherently bad or inherently wrong, right? In the same way that America, after many years of slavery, attempts to subsidize and attempts to encourage more Black business owners, or maybe more Black farmers, or more Black museums, cultural centers, etc. Hey, this group has been marginalized and has not had its own space. The least we can do is help provide some more funding to this group and to their culture and to everything about them, right? And in the same way, I think if Israel did that and they tried to pour more money into things that prioritize Jewish culture, yeah, I don't think that that's wrong. I don't think that that's inherently bad. Yeah, sure. I think that that's honestly good. I think especially where there are not really any Jewish majority states, I don't think that that's a bad thing. But when you're at the point where you're saying, no, not all citizens in our country are equal, this group is more, and this group is less. Now you've just created an ethnostate. Now you're creating an ethnostate. Also, one of the more insidious issues with an ethnostate is how it shapes the ideology of a population and promotes supremacy.
Lines of not wanting Israel wiped off the map, once again playing victim even when defining Zionism.
These are the people who are trying to convince everybody that Zionism is not Judaism and convince themselves that we don't hate Jews, we just hate Zionists. This is a confusion that is at the root of the problem I'm having of contributing and rising anti-Semitism that I'm seeing, is this usage of the word Zionism, which is basically become a catch-all. It doesn't mean much. And it has a whole spectrum of meaning. Like, if you look at a leftist Israeli, you ask them what Zionism is, a lot of people tell you it's Western expansion, like settler expansionism, right? And they say, oh, I'm anti-Zionist, I'm against that. Where the idea of, like, you know, taking Israel off the map, they would be like, that's insane. Like, obviously, no. Are they a Zionist? Or is it a Houthi pirate that Hasan's been hyping up, and a Houthi flag that says, curse upon the Jews and death to Israel? Is that Zionism? What does it mean? What does it mean? People call me a Zionist all the time on the internet. The extent of my Zionism is this. Do I think Israel should be wiped off the map? No. I mean, I'm progressive. I just don't think that Israel should be wiped off the map. That's literally the only deviation I have with these people, is that I don't think that we should relocate 8 million.
Yeah, and how do you suppose we don't wipe Israel off the map? How do you suppose that Israel defends itself? Oh, let me guess. By continuing to do what they've actively been doing for the past how many years? By wiping Gaza off the map?
And people who were born somewhere to somewhere, that's my only deviation. Isn't that crazy? That's literally it.
I honestly don't really think I need to explain this, but when you conflate Zionism with Judaism, Zionism being a racist, far-right, racial supremacist settler movement, Judaism being an ancient religion of peace, whose followers have been historically persecuted for the past 4,000 years, you're doing nothing but creating more anti-Semitic sentiment. Zionism is a disgrace to everything Judaism stands for. And even if we ignore Ethan's conflation with Zionism and Judaism, he's honestly just had a gross history of being anti-Semitic himself.
I mean, I could take these guys a little bit more seriously if it wasn't for this curly ass shit. Like these fucking double curls.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
It's just goofy.
But also, come on, wearing a full suit in the summer.
You know what? Whatever, dude. Whatever they want to do is fine. But the
they
thing that
stink the whole place for everyone.
stink suit, whatever. Okay, the thing that puts them, you know, the thing that makes it not okay. Here we got one driving a car. Careful, everybody. Here, the thing that not makes it okay is these curly ass, goofy mouth, because it just makes you into a goofy guy. You try walking around that shit. You walk around something like that, you're nuts. It's like having a rat tail. It's like having two rat tails on each side of your head.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Except you fucking manicure them every day. At least people with rat tails have the decency to just let it sit. But these guys goof with it all the time. We'll get some good footage, hopefully, of these goofy ass rat tail motherfuckers. Here we are in Nebra. And it's the
Yes, a form of religious expression is exactly like a stylistic choice you make for fashion reasons. Yeah. Because I'm going to be honest, I do make fun of rat tails. I do. I've only seen it done like once, ever. Most of the time it's free. But if it was a form of religious expression, that feels weird to make fun of. That feels weird. What the hell? That's really weird. Like, at that point, you're just engaging in, like, just bigotry? I don't understand. What the fuck?
The home of the Jew.
But it's okay, guys. He's Jewish. He can't be anti-Semitic.
Jew, not just as Jew like, you know, me or Ela. But this is home of the super Jew. The Jew that, you know.
Every time I watch this video, my memory gets wiped from it because I have to forget that it happened. And then I watch it again. I'm like,
the dirty, grimy, Jacket wearing Jews. Real dirty ass. Nasty. You know what I mean? It's like, who can look more Jewish? Boom, boom, boom. It's like it doesn't end. I mean, come on. You have to be very generous to a Hasidic Jew, right?
I'm not
How would I
touching
know?
that one.
Yeah. How am I gonna say to that?
I mean, well, I've lived in Israel for 5 years, so they wear the suits, they got the hats, they don't shower nearly enough. When it's 1,000,000 degrees outside, they rock the black suit. They stink, bro. They stink, and you know they don't shave. You've seen their face. Imagine what their dicks look like.
Wait, I always thought those were like fake.
No, those are real. Those aren't extensions.
Those are real.
Those are all.
That is commitment. I guess, you know, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it.
Their faces look so gnarly. So imagine what these dudes look naked, and they're all.
Dude, this fucking poor common etiquette is just there. Eric is just there. He's like, commitment, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're
pretty fat too, because that wife's at home cooking. That's all she does.
Not all fat.
Well, a lot of the ones you see are pretty chunky.
So what's
this isn't even this okay, just anecdotally. Can I just say? Just anecdotally, I don't even know where he's getting this Hasidic Jews are fat thing. What? I mean, I've lived in New York for over 20 years, and I don't even know if I can remember seeing a Hasidic Jew that was fat. Not that they don't exist, but like just I'm trying to like recall that from my memory bank from all the time that I've spent in New York and seen lots of Hasidic Jews. And I can't even remember that even what the hell? And also, even if that was true, which I don't even know that it is true, what's the who cares? What? What? That's so weird. That's so bizarre. Yeah, I've never seen a fat Hasidic Jew either, and I've lived in New York City too. And also, like, again, even if they were fat, like, what's the joke here? You're literally fat. Or at the very least, I think now maybe Ethan Klein wouldn't be considered fat, but he was fat for like years. Nobody gave a fuck, 'cause who cares? So bizarre. I don't understand. I've never understood the haha fat, and it's supposed to be like funny joke. And I've never understood it when fat people do it, even more so. And then I've never understood it when ex-fat people do it, even more so.
The end game in all of this? Ethan's first foe was Frogan, and after a year of whining about her, he was finally able to get her and her friends banned. Banned for a significant amount of time. But he quickly moved past that, and is now mostly focused on Hasan. At the end of the day, Destiny's audience really has been acting as a parasite in the spongy mind of Ethan Klein, using his inherent biases against him and steering him off a cliff. And parasitic they've been, somehow getting a sitting congressman, Richie Torres, to write a letter to Twitch and their owner Amazon entirely centered around Hasan Piker and the quote-unquote anti-Semitism he has fostered on Twitch. If the KKK or the Third Reich were a social media platform, it would be Twitch.
A congressional letter has been sent to the leadership of Amazon and Twitch to sound the alarm about the amplification of anti-Semitism on Twitch. It was sent by a congressman.
Oh my gosh.
And it's got like the official heading and shit.
Hell yes.
Yeah, everybody knows representatives are super serious people. That's why Lauren Boebert was caught dorking some guy's peanuts watching Betelgeuse. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's why Marjorie Titan Green gets on and talks about crazy conspiracy theories. Yeah, they're super serious. You see that someone's a representative and you immediately know, I can respect everything this person says without looking into them further at all for even 2 seconds.
Addressed to Dan Clancy, Steve Boom, Andrew Jassy, Hugh Jassy, like Hugh Jass.
Oh, I see.
Hugh Jassy.
I see.
Richie Torres tweeted about me. Oh, you know, that's some ADL ass dog shit right there. Richie Torres, the leading streamer on Twitch, Hasan Piker, is an apologist for sexual violence on October 7th. This is, oh God. It doesn't matter if it happened on October 7th. It doesn't change the dynamic for me. Hasan declares before finally admitting that Palestinian resistance is not perfect. A social media influencer openly defends mass murder. Wait, what? What did I say in the 17 seconds before this in this 140p fucking clip that you found, dumbass? I'm saying that it most likely did happen, but that doesn't change the dynamic of the genocide. He clip chipped me while I was literally talking about most likely happening on October 7. Wait, my argument literally was, yes, rapes most likely happened on October 7, and that doesn't justify genocide of an entire people. What is he saying?
Mind you, this letter was written before the election, an election where Torres' future as a congressman was on the line. Yet somehow he was convinced to use his time to shit on Hasan. Bro's clip farming in Congress. Even the Anti-Defamation League, an organization centered around the fight against anti-Semitism and hate crimes in general, somehow found the time in their busy schedule to whine about Hasan Piker. Why is he getting all this attention? Because he's pro-Palestine, anti-imperialist, and anti-capitalist. It's really that simple. Oh, he's also hot. I forgot. I'm honestly not sure why Ethan is doing the things he's doing. Ethan seems to me the kind of guy that thinks he's right about everything. And when people challenge him on it by the thousands, he will do everything he can to prove himself right, rather than admit he may be wrong. Even if that means resorting to a public 3-month-long crash out where his Islamophobic biases are on full display.
The thing about what I'm saying is that I'm objectively right. I'm sorry to tell you guys, I hate to break this to you, I'm just downright objectively right. So if you're like mad and you're raging and you're posting like mean, or not mean, but let's say you're just raging and posting comments on the video or in the description, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, I'm right. I'm right. That's the thing. So I'm standing up for my morals, and racism's actually bad.
This is unfortunately a very common thing that happens to really large male content creators. They just get really gigantic egos because they think they can never be wrong since like they have a few 100,000 or million fans. It's very common.
No matter who's the target of it.
And if you're one of these people that believes Ethan has learned anything within the past year, he recently invited on a genocide denier as a moderate alternative to Hasan Piker.
For the last year or so, when people have been saying there's an inevitable famine, you know, and like a famine is like you've got thousands of people dying of starvation like every other week. And obviously that didn't happen.
And nearly every argument and talking point Ethan had to contribute were nearly identical to his arguments from over a year ago, immediately after October 7.
One thing that drives me crazy is the admiration that you see from Western leftists for organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah. The thing that I've been seeing online that makes me f***ing sick is that just like brazen, enthusiastic support for Hamas. When people are saying go Palestine as they're terrorists killing people, I don't know who else they're cheering on other than Hamas. It's funny because the people who live there, none of them want one state. None of them. The Palestinians and the Israelis, nobody there wants one state.
With international pressure, Israel would do anything that America
I think
wants.
it's important for you to understand that will never happen. I know Israelis, I've lived in Israel. That will never, ever, ever happen short of all-out war. They will never give up the country, ever.
I think it was something a lot of activists would say, well, actually, we deny that. I mean, I've heard Hasan say this, and it's a pretty popular perspective, that Hamas does not use human shields, quote unquote, or they don't use public buildings, and they don't fight like that. I think what they would say is, it's densely populated, like, of course, how can you avoid being near a school or a fucking whatever it is, or near civilians? Is
Because
that
they don't
debatable that
really-
they dress as civilians?
No.
No.
It's not debatable. Not all of them do, but yeah, it's not
Or that
debatable.
their headquarters are under hospitals? Because I see people deny that too.
It was the IDF, Ethan. It literally just broke. I don't care who's talking about it. It just happened. I don't think anybody knows what happened exactly yet. Hasan says it was IDF. Well, he can say whatever he wants. I mean, it just happened. The IDF video is old. It shows buildings with electricity and the power's out. Dude, you guys gotta stop with these weird conspiracy theory stuff. Just wait like a few hours. That's it.
Not even from like a nationalistic, Zionistic perspective, just from a pragmatic point of view. So look at that situation and say, I think we can like lift the blockade and let everybody in Gaza and the West Bank have free reign to go into Israel and basically just, you know, fully integrated from one day, just lights are on, the borders are gone, full integration. Pragmatically, that seems like a total disaster. I mean, that would be like all the governing bodies in those areas are pretty much dedicated to violence against the Israelis, and it'd be crazy, right? I mean, it would be mad to do that.
There is, I believe, a widespread belief held by nearly every Israeli that if the borders would dissolve, if the borders would come down, there would be a massive genocide against Jews.
I find it incredible that people think that Hamas is going to take over all of Israel and happily coexist with fucking Israelis. There's a state of Palestine, it makes sense. But if you're in one state, all that's going to happen is like everybody is trying to bring as many people there as possible. There, frankly, are a lot of Palestinians, right, in the area. And once the Palestinians outnumber the Jews, basically anything is fair game for the Jews. Anything. And I'm sorry, but Hamas, the governing fucking body there, wants to kill all the fucking Jews.
I truly wish Ethan the best. Because whatever he's going through, it's not healthy. And if this continues for another month or two, I can't help but imagine that it will have a huge impact on the legacy of the H3 podcast and Ethan Klein. But that's a video for another day. Thank you for watching North Star Radio. Peace and love. Free Palestine.
There's been a lot of criticism of me of late. There's been a lot of people that have said lots and lots of videos. What have people been saying about me recently? Okay, that I'm a hypocrite, that I prioritize money over everything else, that I've thrown friends under the bus, that I'm ignorant and poorly informed, and spread misinformation, that I'm arrogant.
What is this?
That I cannot handle criticism, and that I've used people, just to name a couple of the reoccurring themes. I'm sure there's so much more you could say about me. And let me just say this, okay, for the record, that I am guilty of all of those things. And I'm not going to quantify it or make excuses or anything.
Oh my God, dude, that's amazing. What a good clip. What a good clip. Milk, you're so cute. I'm going to eat you. I'm going to bake you. And then you're going to come out fuzzy. And then I'm going to Okay, sorry. He's just so sweet and cute and adorable and so distracting, dude. Oh, yes, you're such a vicious predator. Yes. You're such a vicious predator. Look at this vicious predator. So scary. He must really trust you the way that he lets you carry him around. When I first got him, he wasn't like this. He did not like me picking him up, and he definitely did not like it when I would put him upside down. And he doesn't care at all now. You ever give him those dried fish? Yeah, I do. Also, Mimsy, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Julie Kong, thank you so much for the tier 1. Zenims, thank you for the 5 gift subs. I think I said thank you already, but anyways, well, I wish him the best when he wishes permanent occupation of Palestinians, because part of wishing Ethan Klein the best is hoping that he gets better mentally and he recognizes that he's been doing Israeli propaganda for Israel for the past however many decades, or I guess like past like more accurately few years. What Arab are you? Moroccan Egyptian. But anywho, neither here nor there. That was a really good video. That was a really good video. I believe in redemption. It's not impossible. I want to believe that it's possible. I want to believe. Gray cats are the best. I do love gray cats. Look at him. He's just sitting like a person now. He's just like, nah, I'm good. I'm just chilling. Do I see a vape on your desk? Where? This? No, this is my lipstick. Well, it's not like lipstick. It's more of like lip tint / gloss. I like the color and I like that it keeps my lips not dry. I don't vape. This is my stream hot dog. This is my glizzy. I can't do the tricks. But yeah, I mean, I think he's just fucking lost it, dude. I think Ethan Klein's lost it. That was a good video. That was pretty well done. I think it did a really good job of making Ethan Klein look as crazy as he's been. Kudos, comrade Casey. Please go follow or sub. Give a like, give a comment if you liked it. I think this is the right link. Yeah. And I think with that, that is our stream for today. Why does my... Oh. I understand what's making noise. Okay. Well, thank you so much. To be fair, it doesn't take that much to make him look crazy. That's a good point. Thank you so much for tuning into today's stream. I had a great time. I hope you guys had a great time too. I will be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow for a fun day, Sunday. Have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated. Tell your homies you love them. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.